So what is the value of your property? This is Dave at titlesearch.com. You're probably seeing a lot of sources to get property values. Could be Zillow, could be Trulia. You could get what's called an AVM or automated value market report. In some cases, these combine information from assessor's records, maybe some comparable sales, and come up with a value that they're suggesting your house might be worth. But one thing that you'll notice is if you look at the different values offered by 4 or 5 different sources, there may be a range of $100,000, sometimes $200,000 between the highest and lowest ranges. So which value you're going to go with? Well, if you're a buyer, you're thinking, well, I'm going to look at the lowest value and try to get that as my selling price. If you're a seller, you're probably going to look at the highest value and say, hey, that's what my house is worth. How do you determine what the property is actually worth? Well, in the long run, it's going to be worth what somebody wants to pay for it. But what you can do is, instead of looking at one automated value report or Zillow or Trulia, is to get a set of comparable sales for that property, which are actual transactions that have taken place very recently, very close to that property, and similar types of real estate. These will show actually what has been sold and for what price in that market area. If you can get 10 or 15 comparable sales or comps, then you can see each property that was sold, what it's sold for, and probably will be somewhat familiar with each one of those homes because they'll be in the area where that house is. Comparable sales come with many of the title searches that we provide, so that's one place to get them. You can also do some research on your own of these sales that have happened in the past, but make sure that you use good list hygiene, meaning that you get houses that are sold recently, preferably within the last 30 to 60 days, within certainly less than a mile or half a mile if possible, and more importantly, a similar type of house. You don't want to have a house that's twice the size. You can't cut the value in half to get the same as your comparable model. So getting good comparable sales is an excellent way to narrow down exactly what your home might be worth without relying on the highest and lowest values. Remember that somebody who is on the other side of a transaction is going to look at a different number that you will to try to make that transaction to their advantage. If you have more questions about comparable sales or looking up real estate records in general, you can reach us at our website at titlesearch.com.